I woke up at 2:47 a.m. Someone was standing at the foot of my bed. Just standing there, watching me. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. I blinked, and they were gone. But here's the thing. Every morning, my locked door was wide open. I live alone. I double lock it every night. The police couldn't explain it. The locksmith couldn't explain it. And neither can I. You might notice my voice sounds different from my previous videos. I'm using this voice recording thing I just got, and honestly, I think it makes the stories creepier. You tell me. I moved into my new apartment 3 months ago. Studio apartment in downtown. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. The rent was suspiciously cheap for the area, but I didn't question it. The building was old, quiet. Most of the tenants were elderly, kept to themselves. I'm a light sleeper, always have been. The smallest sound wakes me up. A car horn outside. My neighbor's TV through the wall. My phone vibrating on the nightstand. I'm also paranoid about security. I check my door locks twice before bed. Sometimes 3 times. It's just a habit I've had since I was a kid. So when things started happening, I noticed immediately. The first time it happened was a Tuesday night. I went to bed around midnight. Normal routine. Brush my teeth. Lock the door. Checked it twice. Both the deadbolt and the chain lock. I even tested the handle. Secure. I woke up suddenly at 2:47 a.m. That feeling when something jolts you awake, but you don't know why. My heart was pounding before I even opened my eyes. And that's when I saw them. Standing at the foot of my bed. A dark figure. Tall. Completely still. I couldn't see their face. The room was too dark, but I could feel them staring at me. Like their eyes were burning into me. I tried to move. I couldn't. My body wouldn't respond. It felt like my chest was being crushed by invisible weight. I tried to scream. Nothing came out. Just a choked gasp that died in my throat. I forced myself to blink, and they were gone. I sat up, breathing hard, hands shaking. I fumbled for my phone and turned on the flashlight. Swept it across the room. Nothing. I turned on every light in my apartment. Checked the closet, the bathroom, under the bed. Then I checked the door. It was wide open. Both locks undone. The chain hanging loose. My blood went cold. I know I locked it. I checked it. Twice. I always do. I stepped into the hallway. Empty. Completely silent. I went back inside. Locked the door. Triple checked it this time. I told myself it was sleep paralysis. I'd heard about it. Your brain wakes up before your body. You hallucinate. You can't move. It's a known thing. And maybe I forgot to lock the door. Maybe I was more tired than I thought. I left the lights on and went back to sleep. It happened again 5 nights later. 2:47 a.m. I woke up. They were there. Same spot. Foot of my bed. But this time, I could see more. They were wearing dark clothes. Their head was tilted to the side, like they were studying me. Curious. I still couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. I kept my eyes locked on them, trying to make out their face. But it was like the darkness was thicker around their head, like a shadow that moved independently. I blinked. They were gone. Morning came. I checked the door. Wide open again. Both locks undone. But this time, there was something else. Muddy footprints, leading from the door to my bed. Small prints, like someone with bare feet. But they only went one direction. To the bed. Not away from it. Like whoever left them just vanished. I grabbed my phone and took pictures. Then I called the police. 2 officers showed up an hour later. I showed them the footprints, the open door, explained what I'd been seeing. They were polite, but I could tell they didn't believe me. One officer checked the locks. No signs of tampering, no scratches, no forced entry. He looked at me and said, "So how is it opening every morning if no one's breaking in?" I didn't have an answer. The other officer suggested I see a doctor. Said it sounded like stress. Maybe sleepwalking. People do weird things in their sleep. Open doors. Move furniture. I could be doing it and not remembering. They left. I cleaned up the footprints. That night, it happened again. 2:47 a.m. They were closer this time. Standing beside my bed. Right next to me. And when I woke up that morning, my alarm clock was unplugged. Sitting in the middle of the floor. The photos on my wall were turned face down. and my door wide open. Before I continue, if you're enjoying this story, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I post true horror stories like this every week. Real experiences, real fear, and drop a comment below. Where are you watching from? I love hearing from you guys. Alright, back to what happened next. Because it got worse, I changed my locks the next day. Brand new deadbolt, new chain. The locksmith said they were top of the line. No one was getting through those without a battering ram. That same day, I ran into my upstairs neighbor in the hallway. Older woman. Sweet. She stopped me and said, "You okay, honey? I hear you pacing at night, walking back and forth. Are you having trouble sleeping?" I froze. What time do you hear this? Around 3 a.m. Every few nights. Heavy footsteps. Right below me. That's your apartment, right? I was asleep at 3 a.m. Every night. I wasn't pacing. I wasn't even awake. But someone or something was walking around my apartment while I slept. That night, I went to bed early. Locked the new locks. Checked them 4 times. I set up my phone to record audio while I slept. If someone was in my apartment, I'd hear them. 2:47 a.m. I woke up. They were standing over me, inches from my face. I could feel cold air radiating off them, like standing in front of an open freezer. I squeezed my eyes shut, counted to 10. When I opened them, gone. I grabbed my phone, checked the audio recording. I scrubbed through the whole night, listening. At around 2:30 a.m., I heard it. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, walking from my door to my bed. Then silence. Then breathing, right next to the phone. But the strangest part, at exactly 2:47 a.m., the audio cut out. Just static, for 1 minute. Then it came back, and the footsteps walked away. I checked the door, wide open, new locks undone, from the inside. I bought a security camera the next day, wireless, motion activated. I set it up pointing at my door. If someone was getting in, I was going to see them. That night, I went to bed. Camera recording, 2:47 a.m. I woke up. They were sitting on the edge of my bed. I felt the mattress dip under their weight. That's when I knew this wasn't in my head. You don't feel weight during hallucinations. They turned their head toward me, slowly. I still couldn't see their face. Just darkness where their face should be. I blinked. They were gone. In the morning, I reviewed the footage. I watched myself sleep. Peaceful. Still. Then, at 2:46 a.m., I sat up, bolt upright, staring at the edge of my bed, right where I felt them sitting. But there was no one there. The bed didn't dip. Nothing moved. I watched myself stare at nothing for 30 seconds. Then I laid back down. But then I noticed something. At exactly 2:47 a.m., the timestamp glitched. It jumped from 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 59 seconds to 2 hours, 48 minutes, and 1 second. 1 full minute. Missing. Like it never happened. Or like something didn't want to be recorded. I checked the door on the footage. At 2:48 a.m., it was wide open, but I never saw it open. The missing minute covered it. I took the camera footage to a tech friend. Showed him the glitch. He said it was impossible. The camera was new. No corrupted files. No technical issues. There was no reason for it to skip exactly 1 minute. Every single night. At the same time. Unless something was interfering with it. I decided to move. I couldn't take it anymore. I gave my landlord notice. 2 weeks and I'd be gone. The last night I spent in that apartment. I woke up at 2:47 a.m. They weren't there. For the first time in weeks, they weren't there. I felt relief. Maybe it was over. Then I looked at my window. There was a handprint on the glass from the inside, fingers spread wide. But here's the thing. That window is 7 feet high. I can't reach it without a ladder. And I don't own a ladder. I moved out the next day. Didn't even pack everything. Just grabbed what I needed and left. I've been in my new apartment for 2 months now. Different building. Different part of town. I haven't seen them since. But every night, at 2:47 a.m., I wake up, my heart pounding, my body frozen, and I can feel it. Someone watching me. I just can't see them anymore. And sometimes, when I check my door in the morning, it's open. Thanks for watching. If this story kept you up at night, hit that like button and subscribe for more true horror stories every week. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. And remember, always check your locks. Sleep tight.